Now, I want to show you some examples of static equilibrium which are not so intuitive. You may have seen some of them. You may actually have played with some of them. If I take a pencil and I take my pocket knife, so here is a pencil. I will show this to you shortly. Just a regular pencil. And I take my pocket knife and I put the knife, I jam my knife in here. So this is the knife. And this is now my pocket knife, like so. This arrangement can easily be made such that the center of mass is below this point. And so if now I put my finger here, I can balance this rather strange object and it will be completely stable. It will arrange itself so that the center of mass will fall below my finger and it will be completely happy. And I want you to see that. I have here my pocket knife and I have here the pencil. You can see it there, or those of you who are close can see it here. I'll give you a better light condition for that. So there we are. So here's my pocket knife. I open it now. And here's the pencil. And I'm going to jam it in here. When you do that, be more careful than I was this morning, because the knife cut into my finger. That's why I have this band-aid here. It can easily lead to a nasty cut. So the knife is now in this pencil, but now I have to get that center of mass under the pencil. Now I put my finger here and it's stable. So the center of mass rearranges itself so that it goes under the point of suspension and is completely stable. You can wriggle it as much as you want to. That's not so intuitive. I have here a very thin bar, a wire, a very stiff wire. And I can put my hammer here on the end of this wire. And look at this. Center of mass is way below my suspension point. This is stable like hell. It also hurts like hell, by the way. You can even swing it. Center of mass is way here, below the suspension point. Sum of all torques is 0, if it's like this. Sum of all forces is 0. Center of mass below the suspension point. They have to be exactly vertically lined up. If they're not vertically lined up, like now, then there is a net torque relative to that point. If there is a net torque, there will be an angular acceleration, and that's what you see. If they're exactly lined up, there is no longer any torque. Let's now turn to a rope walker. We have a rope walker. Here's the rope walker. And the rope walker standing on the rope. I'll make the rope walker a little smaller. You'll see shortly why I make it a little smaller. This is the rope walker. This is the rope. And let the center of mass of the rope walker be right here, somewhere here. And the distance between the center of mass and the rope, let that distance be 1 meter, and let the mass of the rope walker be 70 kilograms. I built a light structure, could be built of wood, which the rope walker is going to carry in her hands, or in his hands, just like this. And it goes down quite a distance. And I put here a mass of 5 kilograms. And I put here a mass of 5 kilograms. And let's assume that this structure is very lightweight, so that we can ignore that. And that this distance be 10 meters. Where is the center of mass of this system? 70 kilograms is above the rope. 1 meter. 10 kilograms is 10 meters below the rope. So clearly the center of mass of the system as a whole will be below the rope. And so that person is as stable as anything, just as stable as my hammer was. With one problem, that the person could slide off the rope to the side. That would be unfortunate, of course. And therefore, you would require then that if this is the rope, the cross-section of the rope, then you would make yourself soles on your shoes, which are a little bit like this. So that's only to prevent you from sliding off in this direction and falling. But the center of mass is below the rope, and so there's really no danger. You can balance yourself and walk on the rope, and nothing would happen. You could even do this. Go back and forth on the rope. No problem. You always come back like this. Well, we have a very special rope walker. This is our rope walker. And this rope walker has indeed very special shoes. In fact, the shoes of the rope walker is a little wheel. And this is what the wheel looks like. And here is where the rope will be. And this is the rope that you see here in the lecture hall. And so the only reason why we need this groove in the wheel is to prevent it from sliding to the side, as we need it for this person. But the center of mass, if you see it when I balance it on my finger, is way below the suspension point because of these weights on both sides. The center of mass is somewhere here, so it is completely stable. You can even go like this, no problem. This is what the rope walker can do, provided it doesn't slide off. That's why we have this. Okay, let's ask this rope walker to give us a demonstration. Let's make her walk. We don't need that television anymore. It would be nice if one of the students, would you do me a favor and welcome the rope walker as she arrives here? Because we don't want her to crash. Is that okay with you? So when she comes down, be gentle and give her all the honors that she deserves, and then you just make sure that she doesn't fall, because that she would be damaged, right? We don't want that. Okay, so you've seen already how stable the situation is. And there she goes. You ready for that? Voila! We can all become rope walkers. Thank you very much. See you Friday.